Hello, everyone. Welcome to our beginner-friendly English podcast. Today, we're diving into a fascinating and important topic, how different countries handle laws about drugs. Have you ever wondered why some places allow certain drugs while others don't? Stay with us as we discuss real stories, explain useful vocabulary, and share ideas you can use in daily life.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to join this conversation. This episode will help you learn new words and ideas, and maybe even change the way you think about rules in health. We encourage you to listen carefully, and don't forget to leave your thoughts or questions in the comments.
Let's start with a story. In almost every country, people have strong opinions about the ethics of drug legislation. Now, let's explain that word, legislation.
Legislation means a law, or a set of laws made by a government. For example, traffic rules and drug policies are types of legislation. Understanding legislation helps us see why rules are different from one country to another.
Exactly. And in this story, some people are proponents of legalizing drugs. Do you know what a proponent is?
A proponent is a person who supports or is in favor of something. So, a proponent of legalizing drugs thinks it's a good idea. It's common to hear this word in debates or discussions about new laws.
Proponents argue that soft drugs like marijuana are no more dangerous than alcohol, and they advocate for legalizing small amounts for personal use. Now, let's pause to explain advocate.
To advocate means to publicly support or recommend something. For example, some people advocate for healthier school lunches. In this case, they advocate for changing drug laws.
Meanwhile, anti-drug activists caution about the risks to individuals and society. They believe legalization could increase crime and addiction. It's a classic debate with passionate opinions on both sides. Let's travel to the Netherlands, which has a special way of handling drug policy. Their approach starts with the idea that drug use cannot be completely eliminated. Some drugs, like marijuana, are used for medical reasons, such as to relieve nausea. Now, let's explain nausea.
Nausea is a sick feeling in your stomach, like when you want to throw up. Doctors sometimes allow marijuana to help patients who feel nausea from treatments like chemotherapy. It's important to know this word, especially when talking about health.
The Netherlands makes a difference between soft drugs, like marijuana, and hard drugs, such as heroin, cocaine, and methamphetamines. Let's take a moment to explain methamphetamine.
Methamphetamine is a strong drug that acts as a stimulant, making people feel very awake and energetic, but it can be very dangerous and addictive.
Although both soft and hard drugs are technically against the law, the Dutch government allows soft drugs to be sold in certain places under strict rules. For example, buyers must be at least 18, and only 5 grams can be sold in one transaction.
This means the government tries to control drug use instead of pretending it doesn't happen. By regulating sales, they hope to reduce the problems linked to drugs like illegal markets or unsafe products.
Studies show that the decriminalization of soft drugs in the Netherlands hasn't led to more drug use among young people. Here's a new word, decriminalization.
Decriminalization means making something no longer punishable by criminal penalties. So, if a country decriminalizes a drug, you won't go to jail for having a small amount. This approach focuses on health, not punishment.
And interestingly, the use of soft drugs in the Netherlands is similar to other Western countries. Their statistics show fewer drug problems than in places with stricter laws, like the US. Contrary to what some might think, the Netherlands has lower rates of drug use and addiction compared to the US, even though the US has much stricter penalties. For example, lifetime marijuana use is 25% in the Netherlands, but 41% in the US.
That's a big difference. Also, lifetime heroin use is much lower in the Netherlands. Only 0.5% of people there have used heroin, compared to 1.5% in the US. This shows that strict laws do not always mean fewer drug problems.
So, why are Dutch statistics so low? The Netherlands focuses on intervention and prevention. For citizens who are addicted to drugs, the government offers methadone programs. Let's explain methadone.
Methadone is a medicine that helps people stop using heroin. It's safer and it helps addicts slowly recover. These programs are easy to join, so more people get help.
The government also uses these programs to teach addicts about preventing diseases, such as AIDS and hepatitis B, especially diseases spread by using dirty needles. In the Netherlands, there are needle exchange programs for intravenous drug users. Let's pause to explain intravenous.
Intravenous means something goes directly into a vein, usually with a needle. Many drugs are injected this way.
In these programs, people trade old needles for new, sterile ones. Now, what does sterile mean?
Sterile means clean and free of germs. Using sterile needles helps prevent diseases. In Amsterdam, there are 15 places where this happens.
They exchange hundreds of thousands of syringes every year. And a syringe is a device with a needle used to inject drugs. Thanks for explaining that one too. Now, let's connect this story to our lives. Drug laws affect everyone. Maybe you know someone who has struggled, or you've seen news stories about addiction. Learning about different approaches can help us think critically about what really works.
Absolutely. The Dutch model shows that focusing on health and support instead of only punishment may lead to better results. Would your country benefit from similar programs? It's important to ask questions and look at real evidence when discussing these topics.
Let's review the new words we learned today. First, legislation. Laws made by the government. For example, the government passed new legislation about smoking.
Next, proponent. Someone who supports something. She is a proponent of healthy eating. Nausea. A sick feeling in the stomach. After the ride, he felt nausea.
Methamphetamine. A strong drug that makes people feel very awake. Methamphetamine can be dangerous. Decriminalization. Making something not a crime. The city supports decriminalization of small drug amounts.
Methadone. Medicine to help people stop using heroin. He takes methadone to recover. Intravenous. Going into a vein. The doctor gave her medicine intravenously.
Sterile. Very clean, with no germs. The nurse used a sterile needle. Syringe. A device with a needle for injecting. The doctor filled the syringe with medicine. Great job reviewing. Now, here's a question for you. If you were in charge of drug legislation in your country, would you focus more on punishment or on health and prevention? Why? Share your answer with us. We'd love to hear your ideas.
Your opinion matters. Thinking about real-life situations helps you practice English and makes the vocabulary stick. Don't be shy. Every answer helps you learn.
That brings us to the end of today's episode. Remember, learning English is a journey, sometimes challenging, but always rewarding. We believe in you.
Keep listening, practicing, and asking questions. One tip. Try using today's new words in your own sentences or conversations. The more you use them, the more natural they'll feel.
Thank you for joining us. Stay curious, stay positive, and keep practicing English every day. Until next time, take care and happy learning.